Good evening, everyone. It's 7:03 p.m. Today is November 23rd, 2021. This is our regular council meeting. And as you all know, we meet every second and every fourth Tuesday of the month. This is the last for this month before Thanksgiving, right? Happy to see you. Good night to everyone, and hopefully we will enjoy the night, enjoy a council meeting. At 7:05, the meeting is called to order. Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bien-Aimé,
Here.
Councilman Desilme, Councilwoman Timothy,
Here.
Councilwoman Estimate Irvin,
Present.
Councilman Galvin. Mayor, you have a quorum to proceed.
Thank you very much. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance with our Chief of Police, Larry Jiriga, followed by Father Friesner G. Bellons from Holy Family Catholic Church for the invocation.
Please place your right hand over your heart and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Holy God, whom by many and beyond all names, Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of community, Spirit of justice, we ask your blessings on the people, especially this council, who have been called to lead the city of North Miami, in which we live and work and play. Help them as leaders to not ask first, how do we fix this? But what do we need to learn? How might we need to change? And not to whom do we need to listen? Lord, Jehovah, Yahweh, and all. Remind them, because we are all forget from time to time, especially in the noisiness of what passes for political debate today, that they are not only leaders, but also great servants, that it is their responsibility and ours to serve the common good of all. Heavenly Father, remind them, no matter where we live, everyone of all walks of life, regardless of their color, creed, political affiliation, is our neighbor, our siblings, that through the ages, prophets have called the leaders of the people to respect and protect the least of those among us, our children, the elderly, the poor, the orphans, the widows and the widowers, those who are hungry, those who have no homes, those who are ill in body, especially this time of pandemic, mind or spirit, the stranger and immigrants in our midst, those who live on the margins, those who are alone, and those who are forgotten. Grant them and us the wisdom and courage to know and to do what is right and good and true. May they all speak out when it is time to speak and to listen, patiently and receptively when it is time to listen. May they, and we always be guided by the spirit of community, by the spirit of justice, and by the spirit of love. All this we ask through our Lord Jesus, through God, and one and for all. Amen.
Thank you very much, Chief Larry Juriga from the Police Department and Father Belons from Holy Family Catholic Church. Now let's set the agenda. City Manager, do you have any additions, amendments, or deferral to the agenda?
No.
Thank
No,
you.
Mayor.
Thank you very much. The City Attorney, the agenda set.
Yes, Mayor,
Proceed.
the agenda is set. You may proceed.
Thank you very much for some special presentations and proclamations. Yeah. The first presentation, it's going to be presented to a former Park and Recreation Department Director for the City of North Miami. You all know that the month of October is put aside to think about women's health, especially breast cancer. Breast cancer awareness during the month of October. But for the month of November, we put aside that month to talk about men's health and to receive a proclamation for what he's been doing in the community and talk about Men's Health Month. I'm going to call Nathaniel Wilkins to come forward, please. He's from Now Group Fitness, Angels Workout, and Pinnacle Fitness. Before we present the proclamation, can you tell us what you've been doing in the community, especially during Miami November month, Men's Health?
Absolutely. Mayor, you should know that we celebrate Men's Health. I saw you today. I saw you at ADAPT working out. I think that's the basics of all of what we do, right? So we don't get out and breathe and fresh air and do some things for our bones, for our bodies, then we'll have some challenges. But this month, we celebrate Movember, and changing the face of men's health. Too many men are dying, too young. Our young men, you know, I lost a brother to HIV. I lost a nephew to stomach cancer. And as if that wasn't enough, I went to the doctor myself, and in my prostate, the PSA levels were elevated. And so I had the biopsy done. After the biopsy, I found out that I had some low level of prostate cancer. So if anybody knows anything about me, you know that if you kick me or hit me and knock me down, I'm going to bite you around the ankles. And so this work is all about pulling in and celebrating men, challenging men to get a better handle on their life and do something. So on Saturday, you're going to be a part of a national forum, a national congress with people all over the world talking about what happens to men. We need to bring some pressure to the men's issue. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Like I said, it's Miami Movember, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we call, whereas the month of November is a time to recognize Movember nationally. Miami Movember is an effort to change the face of men's health locally, and whereas Miami Movember efforts will include a hybrid of different activities throughout the month and throughout the year. This special event is it in partnership with Mickey Demo Boxing to strategize and implement plans to help address men's mental health issues, focusing on mental health and suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. And whereas Miami Movember funds groundbreaking medical research, innovative cancer tests and treatments, and mental health. And whereas many has, but the most important thing is to understand not only women but men also need to taking care of themselves, and there's multiple way of doing so. That's why, as mayor of the city of North Miami, for the month of November, and we're thinking about every man and every issue that may affect you. And I declare today Miami Movember Day. And I have another proclamation for tonight, and I'm going to call Councilwoman for District 2, Cassandra Timothy. And you know, we are celebrating the anniversary of a big institution in the city of North Miami. It's Holy Cross Lutheran School and Church. 70 years in the community, 70 years in the making. That's when you know it's not easy. When people wasn't talking too much about our city, they decided to be in the city of North Miami, and now we are moving together. And you know, Holy Cross Lutheran Church and School is in District 2. I'm going to call, of course, Councilwoman Cassandra Timothy to come forward. And
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all of you in your white, black, and red. My name is Councilwoman Cassandra Timothy, and it is an honor and a pleasure to serve as your District 2 Councilwoman in the city of North Miami. And when I saw that Holy Cross Lutheran School and Church was celebrating their 70th anniversary, I asked the Mayor and Council, could we proclaim this day in honor of their celebration of this 70th year milestone? So today in the city of North Miami, the Mayor and City Council do proclaim this day, November 23rd, as Holy Cross Lutheran Church and School Day in honor of your 70th anniversary. And I know you got, I think the pastor on last Sunday asked the congregation to donate $70 in honor of the 70th anniversary. So today I have a small token of my appreciation to the school as well in honor of your 70th anniversary. And I know the students today will be blessing us with a song. So before, I would like to call Principal Rachel Scott and Assistant Principal Soraya Trujillo to accept this proclamation and, of course, welcome the students. And of course, in honor of the $70 pledge, I decided to pledge $250 to the school in honor of your 70th anniversary.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I want to take a minute to introduce our school's choir and our choir director, Matthew Hardin. They're going to come and do a special song presentation for us. So come on up, guys.
What I do every day and Thursday morning, I don't like. So I'm gonna make you stand up too. So if you can just stand up, stand on up. We like to have fun when we sing songs and praise God. So we would like to join so and help us sing these songs as well. They go like this. Just do this. And go like this. There you go. Look to your neighbor and say this. Listen. Wake up. Joy is here. 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 Wake up. There you go. Now you're moving. Joy is here. Wake up. Come on there. Joy is here. Wake up. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, yes, Lord. Say it. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Thank you very much to Holy Cross Church and School. Okay. Those are the students at the school. This is the school part, right? And thank you very much for being with us tonight. And again, on behalf of the city of North Miami, I want to wish you success, another 70 year, right, in the community. Again, happy 70th anniversary. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And now to move forward with the presentation, I'm going to call Commander Branson for COVID-19 update and hurricane preparedness.
Thank you again to Holy Cross School and Church. That was an outstanding presentation. Good evening, Mayor and Council, Commander Angelo Brinson, Emergency Manager. I am very happy to announce that we have finally reached the final week of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. At this moment, we are not tracking any storms, and we should be good until next year.
Yes, Lord.
I always say hurricanes can't read calendars, so we can't always think because of a certain date we're done, but I think we're good. Moving on to COVID-19, last week, Miami-Dade County did experience a reduction in new confirmed COVID-19 cases as reported by the Florida Department of Health. Last week, we had 1,831 new cases in Miami-Dade County, and that was lower than the previous week of 2,120, which was a decrease of 189 cases. So as I've been saying throughout this ordeal, throughout this worldwide pandemic, let's continue to do what we have been doing to continue to slow the spread of COVID-19, and that is social distancing, wearing our mask, and washing our hands. In closing, COVID-19 testing and vaccinations are available at 2 of our North Miami City facilities, the Joe Celestine Center at 1525 Northeast 135th Street, and at the Gwen Margolis Center located at 1590 Northeast 123rd Street. Both locations offer all 3 vaccinations on Saturdays by appointment only, and speaking with them, they also offer the boosters, and they have already administered boosters to several residents who showed up there. So if you're looking for your vaccination or for your booster, they are available. This weekend, due to the holiday, both locations, Joe Celestine and Gwen Margolis, will be closed for vaccinations on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The following week, Monday, they will pick back up with the normal schedule, which is Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and vaccinations at both locations on Saturdays by appointment. That's my presentation. You guys have any questions?
Any questions for Commander Branson? Oh, thank you very much,
Thank
Commander
you very
Branson.
much.
And now we have 2 presentations. First of all, we're going to have Miguel Augustin, Finance Director, for the quarterly finance presentation. And for the budget presentation, we're going to have Roy Brown, Assistant Budget Director.
All right, good evening, Miguel Augustin, Finance Director. This evening I'll be presenting the 4th quarter finance cash report. So that's for the quarter ended September 30th, 2021. Okay, so the table that you have before you, or that you can see, presents the cash balances for the city's various accounts at September 30th, 2021, and compares them to the balance for the same account as of June 30th, 2021. So the accounts at Bank of America, the city's daily investment account, is the city's operating account. The balance at September 30th was $43,636,000. At September 30th, 2021. The balance was very similar to June's balance. It's only a difference of about $23,000, so not much variation from quarter to quarter there. The utility deposit account, this is the account that the city tracks the deposits for various customers of utility services. That account is not adjusted until year end, so we will be looking at the balance at actually October 1st and making an adjustment to that account. So there's usually no change throughout the year. The city's flexible spending account, AFLAC, is an account that is manned by a third-party administrator. So it's just whatever activity that's in that account is simply a matter of whether claims are filed by the various participants of that benefit. Not much change in that account, just a difference of $1,800 from quarter to quarter. And the replacement benefit fund, that's also a third-party benefit account as well. And its activities also dictated by the participants of that benefit as well. Not much change there. There's only $44,000 in that account at September 30th, a difference of $6,000 relative to the June balance. The Wells Fargo accounts, the lockbox account is the primary account by which customers make payments by mail. So they make payments and they're deposited in this account. And then the activity from that account is then transferred to the daily investment account through a sweep transaction. So whatever balance is there is just a matter of timing, whether a sweep occurred near the end of the month when the statement was generated. So that account is usually a very minimum balance. You don't keep much in there. So the balance at September 30th was $22,000 relative to $44,000 compared to the June balance. So there's a difference of $21,000, but as I said, it's just a matter of the timing of when the sweep was done to the daily investment account. The John Eastern account is the city's workers' comp claims account that's managed by a third party as well. And that also is dictated by the activity of claims that are presented to the account. So it maintains a minimum balance to be able to absorb claims as they come due. But at September 30th, the balance was $13,000. At June, it was $32,000. So when it gets to a certain point, we usually send money from the daily investment account to replenish it to a balance that is able to absorb claims that we expect to be processed. And the restricted account, that's a $3.1 million balance that we've transferred from the daily investment account to this Wells Fargo account, primarily to get a better interest rate. As you can see, the balance has not changed very much. Interest rates are very low. But the balance at September 30th was $3,100,517 versus $3,100,383. So it's a difference of $133. So that was the interest earnings from third quarter to fourth quarter, essentially. The landfill account is the account that the city shares with the county for the remediation of the Muni Sports site. That account has not seen much activity in terms of costs being incurred for remediation efforts. So whatever activity you see here is just a result of interest earned from quarter to quarter. So the difference of $2,227 is just the interest that was earned from quarter to quarter, because there were no draws that were paid out of that account. The escrow accounts at the school board remain at $7 million. No change there. And the city's investments are relatively flat as well. The certificates of deposit, those make interest payments at different intervals throughout the year, but the balance of those accounts remains consistent. So you have one at $500,000, one at $1 million, and you also have one at $840,000. So those are at the Iberia Bank, or well, now First Horizon Bank, and SunTrust, now Truist. The $6,765,000 is at the Florida Prime SBA account. That's an investment account that the city holds with the state board These are primarily governmental investments, municipal bonds, and other treasuries. So it's a pooled investment account that the city holds. Again, interest rates are low, so not much in terms of earnings from quarter to quarter, only 2,192. So just looking at the overall cash and investments balance, as you can see, 71,261 versus 71,327. There's a difference of 63,000 from quarter to quarter, so a very negligible change from quarter to quarter. Next slide, I just go through, kind of go through some of the month-by-month changes, considering the net inflows and outflows and comparing those to the averages that we typically see for those months. And when I say averages, I mean we've taken 3 years of activity for those months. So we look at 3 years July, 3 years August, 3 years September, and compare the actual for this year's activity to those, how we stack up relative to those months. So point of note, in August, we had a cash inflow of 7.7 million relative to the 3-year average of 6.9 million. That's primarily because we had a lot of reimbursements from HUD. So that explains why we had those additional inflows versus outflows for that. I mean, relative to the average. The cash outflows were slightly less than we normally have in August. So we had outflows of about 6 million relative to about 7 million, which is what we typically do compared to the 3-year average. So about $1 million less in cash outflows in August. September, we had an inflow of 8.2 million versus our average is usually around 7.4 million. And that's primarily because we had that transaction, the land transaction, the land swap transaction, where there was a cash payment to us of 960,000. So that bumped up that cash inflow relative to the average. The outflows were fairly similar for September, 7.5 versus 7.7. So not much in terms of variability there. And the final slide I just have, just for purposes of comparison, looking at the September 30th balances for 2021 versus 2020, 2019. You can see that the big change is primarily in the daily investment account. So in 2019, at September 30th, at that point, the daily investments balance was 23,193,000 in 2019. Fast forward the year, 2020 was 33 million. So the primary reason for that change year to year is during 2020, if you recall, we had a number of land sales that helped to boost up the total cash balance for the year. So for 2021, that balance is another $10 million more, which is 43 million compared to the 33 of last year. And that's because we got the out of the American Rescue Funds, got a first allocation of 9 million. So that's the reason that we've had these in terms of year-over-year balances for cash. We had those one-time events happen. So we should keep that in mind. Everything else is relatively stable. So the main, like I said, the main driver for the increases are those one-time transactions. That's really all I had. Questions?
Thank you very much. Let's hear from the budget department, so we'll have questions for both at the podium.
PowerPoint. Good evening, Mayor and Council and residents. Roy Brown, Assistant Budget Director. I'll be presenting the revenues and expenditures for fiscal year 2021. I will start with a funds overview, followed by a recap of all of the funds you see here on this slide: General Fund, Enterprise Fund, Special Revenue Fund, Transportation Fund, Capital Fund, Internal Services Fund, and the Debt Service Fund. This slide shows the adopted budget compared to the amended budget. You see we adopted the budget at $164 million compared to the amended budget of $199 million. There were $35.6 million in budget amendments, and they include $15.7 million for purchase orders, $15.2 million for funds reappropriated from the prior year, $2.5 million for miscellaneous budget amendments, $1.14 million for CARES Act funding, $0.6 million for CDBG disaster recovery, and $0.5 million for miscellaneous grants and donations. Moving on to the general fund revenues. You see that property tax revenue came in at 99% for ad valorem taxes. All other taxes are expected to come in close to budgeted at 94%. For licenses and permits, we've collected about 103%. Intergovernmental revenue, we've collected 107%, with state shared revenue and local government half-cent sales surtax exceeding the budgeted amount. Charges for services came in at 89%, with culture and recreation revenue experiencing the largest amount of revenue loss. Fines and forfeits are at 77%, and this is primarily due to a small shortage in code compliance revenue. Miscellaneous revenues are at 77%, and all in all, we've collected 99% of the budgeted amount. This slide shows the general fund expenditures by department. For the city manager's department, you see that they're at 105%, and this is primarily due to some unexpected employee benefit payouts. The city clerk's office is at 101%, and this is due to election expenses. Non-departmental expenditures are at 13%, and this is low because there are 2 projects budgeted there which have not yet been expended. Housing and social services is at 47% due to a reappropriation of grants to fiscal year 2022. All other departments are on target as they are below the 100% threshold for the fourth quarter. This slide shows the general fund expenditures by category. You see that salaries are at 109% through the fourth quarter, and as I mentioned on the slide before this one, this is primarily due to over $1.3 million in employee payouts for fiscal year 2021. Benefits are at 99% through the fourth quarter, and this includes the one-time pension payment of $8.1 million. There are some savings on operating expenses. We've used 84% of what was adopted, and these savings came in outside wages, miscellaneous expenses, maintenance of operations of equipment, contractual services, and special events. Internal services are at 58%. Capital expenses are at 7%, and this is primarily due to the 1.1 budget for capital projects and non-departmental that I mentioned on the slide before this. Grants are at 65%, and this is primarily due to housing and social services grant funding not being used in fiscal year 2021. They were reappropriated to fiscal year 2022, where we will see some expenses. Reserves are at 29%. Overall, the city used about 88% of general fund budgeted expenditures. Moving on to the enterprise funds. Water and sewer and stormwater revenues reflect the actual dollars collected. Reports show that we've collected about 47% of water and sewer revenue and 52% of stormwater revenue. This can be attributed to the delay in recognizing revenue because of quarterly billing. You know, when one person misses one payment, really reflects is about 6 months of missed revenue. Special revenues. The main thing here to discuss is the building fund. They came in lower than budgeted, but the revenue still outweighs the expenditures, which is a good sign. CDBG, HIP, NSP, and all the housing funds are included here. And those funds do include some of the COVID amendments that we made throughout the year. Miscellaneous grant funds includes the $1 million in CARES Act funding. But for the most part, as you see, the bottom line number, we've collected $26.8 million of special fund revenue, and we've used about $20.8 million in expenditures. So we are collecting more than we're spending. On to transportation funds. The half-cent transportation fund was created to account for the city's prorated share of the Charters County Transit System surtax proceeds. A few of the half-cent projects that were completed throughout fiscal year 2021 include the traffic circle on Northeast 10th Avenue and 131st Street. And the second project for half-cent that was started is the Northeast 125th Street project. For gas tax, we've continued to resurface all the roads, and that's what the $270,000 expenditures went toward. Next, we have the internal service funds, and this is the risk management and fleet funds. Risk management receives revenue from departments to cover the cost of premiums, administrative charges of third-party administrators and claims. Fleet management revenue is also received from departments to cover the cost of vehicles and vehicle maintenance used by departments. Together, we've collected $5.3 million in revenue, and $6.4 million has been expended. Moving on to debt service fund. The annual debt service is allocated as a reserve to departments based on prior year adopted budgets. And this is budgeted on the dollar, so you will see that our revenues and expenditures match what was adopted. Budget presentation.
Thank you very much. No questions. So, can you use the other mic? We have any? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick question on utility payments from the Dade County Public School System. I don't know if either of you can speak to that, but after the issues in Surfside, as I was reviewing 40-year recertifications, I also found that several Dade County public school facilities were also on the negligent list in paying their utilities. Sent that over to a school board member who sent it to their folk, who've now sent it to us and say, well, they don't have to pay. Have we reached in any type of conclusion or working toward getting any type of conclusion? Because the amount owed was pretty significant, and if they owe it, I want to make sure we get paid.
Yep. So again, Miguel Augustin, Finance Director. So a lot of the balance that the school board had related to stormwater, and they presented us a case saying that there was a case against another municipality where the school board was successful in questioning whether or not they had to pay municipality stormwater fees. So using that precedent, they made their case to us. So some of that balance has to be written off. Certainly, we've stopped billing them stormwater. So whatever balances that are there, that needs to be factored out. But the remainder of the balances, whatever consumption for water or sewer, certainly that is due. And I've received some of the communication from their representatives. So we are in talks in terms of trying to work something.
I would be thankful at your convenience and through the city manager that you give me something back as that, because I went to a school board member and now she's like, well, Scott, which is it? Which is it? And it would help me be able to explain to her, here's where things stand. Here's what you owe. Here's what we're writing off, etc. out of fairness to her, she jumped to our assistant when I reached out.
Certainly.
Mr. City Attorney, that's when the school don't have to pay for some order.
It's been a couple weeks. I'd have to pull up I don't even know if we did a written memo, but yeah, they did. There was a communication to the school board, and then they responded. We reviewed the case law that they provided and agreed with. That.
Can we let us know?
I'll prepare a memo.
Question.
Thank you both for your presentation. Mr. Finance Director, is there, through the City Manager obviously, is there anything that we need to be aware of or alerted? Any advice that you have for us? Anything that needs to be highlighted outside of what you said?
Well, certainly, we have to be mindful that we have in recent years had one-time monies come in. Those are one-time monies. So the monies that we got from, for example, the American Rescue Plan or the land sales of last year, they're not recurring. So as you know, prior to in the previous years, we've been running deficits because of the way we budget, right? So the revenues were not exceeding the expenditures, which that we're going further and further into a deficit. So, I mean, we've addressed some of that in the way we've prepared the budget for this year, for example, for fiscal year 21-22, where it's more balanced, meaning that the revenues are closer to where the expenditures are. But we have to be mindful that the revenues, the recurring revenues are relatively flat. So expenditures need to be maintained in order for us to maintain fiscal responsibility.
So we are doing that now.
Yeah, this year's budget, for sure. We've taken steps to make sure that the expenditures and the revenues meet. So that, and of course, we have the American Rescue Funds as well. So that helps in the short run, at least. This year, next year, and the next couple of years, where we have some of those projects funded by that money. So that will help. But we have to be mindful, be vigilant.
Thank you. And the same question to you, Mr. Assistant Budget Director. Are there any concerns, any other thing that you have not highlighted that you need to bring to our attention?
No,
or
just
do you want to emphasize?
Roy Brown, Assistant Budget Director, just to mimic Miguel, just the one-time revenues is a real concern for the amount of expenditures that we have. But throughout the budget process, the management team and along with the budget office, we've taken a detailed look at all of the revenues, and we are confident with the numbers that we have that we'll continue to at least start with revenues over expenditures moving forward.
And I have a question for you, Mr. Finance Director. There was a $3 million that set aside. That has nothing to do with reserves or anything like that. That's just for pure interest.
Right. It's just a carve out of the daily investment accounts excess cash. So just because we could get some better returns on that, we took out just a little bit of it so that we could get better return.
And how was that determined? How do you get that money?
Well, part of it was we were trying to do something with Wells Fargo as well, to kind of get some kind of a relationship with them to get returns. Because as it is right now, Bank of America, the returns that we get are minimal. So interest rates are relatively low, and it's not just Bank of America. I shouldn't just say Bank of America, but another bank trying to get some business with us, they will give us a little bit more interest. So we just gave them $3.1 million just to hold onto. Those funds can be, if needed, they come back to the general daily investment account as needed. But right now it's not. So talk to where they're getting it.
And Madam City Manager, is there anything else you'd like to add on top of the presentation that presented?
No.
Thank you. That's all my.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. through the city manager, Madam Manager, have we began looking at where we can maybe begin to assess maybe certain charges for services that we're undercharging, whether it's, the community centers that are being rented out, is the parks? Are we doing an assessment to see where we can begin to maybe increase those service charges?
We are going to be taking a full, and we've already started the process of looking at all of the fees across the city, specifically in terms of community. As you know, we're often doing those as a benefit to the community, so that's usually not where that is. But in looking at services that we provide across the city that we're not charging what the actual rate is, we are doing that.
And I noticed you stated that parks was under what was normally expected. Like, do we know why those numbers were under?
Those numbers would have been under because the centers were not open.
Okay, and do we know when we're going to be fully operating all those sites?
I can't actually say when we're going to be fully operating all the sites because, as you know, we've been having a shortage of employees in terms of work in that space. It's happening all across the country. And so we have positions out and we are working to fill the positions that we have available.
So we closed the books in what month? September, and we had, how much was reappropriated? Or I guess what was left over that was reappropriated into the next fiscal year?
I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it was about 20 million.
So 20 million from us, and those are because of the one time? Is that what we're saying that 20 million came from?
No, those are, if we work on a project or we have money that is supposed to finalize a project, so for instance, there's things that happen at the water plant and public works, there's cost or expenditures. If they're not fully expended, then we roll them over if that project is supposed to continue.
Okay.
So that's part of our rollovers.
Okay.
What's that? Thank you very much. I have a quick question for you. You said for the building department, revenues went up. You say that?
Yes, we have, the revenues exceeded the expenditures for the year, yes.
Okay. And you said also code compliance went down.
No, there was a shortage in code compliance revenue. It was about 100,000, but there was a shortage in code compliance revenue this year.
Okay, do you know, Madam City Manager, do you know why?
I'm sorry, a question about code compliance?
There is a
Well, I think originally we started out that we hadn't started the meetings, then we put them virtual, and then have been some issues in terms of ticket writing because of the system. We're working through, as you know, we're trying to get them more online and put them all with our new ERP system. But in the meantime, when we went virtual, there were some issues with getting all the ticketing.
Okay. And this for budget finance.
Madam Clerk, I'm here. Thank you. No question, sir.
As of 7:56.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. City events.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, North Miami neighbors, and guests. My name is Suzette Cabrera, Communications Manager at the City of North Miami, and it is my pleasure to share some of our city's upcoming events with you. The City of North Miami is happy to invite you to our 46th annual Winter National Thanksgiving Day Parade on Thursday, November 25th at 10 a.m. Enjoy spectacular bands, entertainers, and parade floats along Northeast 125th Street and Northeast 6th Avenue to 10th Avenue. This year's parade will be hosted by Marcine Joseph, NBC6 Miami reporter, and co-hosted by Supa Cindy, 99 Jams radio personality. For more information, call the Parks and Recreation Department at 305-895-9840. The North Miami Public Library is getting ready to expand their hours of operation. Starting on Monday, November 29th, the library will open Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesdays from 12 noon to 8 p.m., and Friday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. North Miami City Clerk Vanessa Joseph Esquire, in partnership with Mayor Philip Biename and Councilman Scott Galvin, invite residents to attend a community forum on Tuesday, November 30th. The forum will be held from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at First Church of North Miami. For more information or to RSVP, contact the Office of the City Clerk at 305-895-9817. The North Miami Public Library, along with the Friends of the Library, will host their annual book sale. The preview night will be held on Friday, December 3rd from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. On Saturday, December 4th, the book sale will be open for business from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and the following day, Sunday, December 5th, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Councilwoman Mary Estime Irvin, Councilwoman Cassandra Timothy, MPA, and State Representative Dodie Joseph are partnering with Liga Contra el Cáncer to provide free mammogram exams. This event will take place on Saturday, December 4th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Griffin Park. Please register in advance by calling 305-856-4914 for English or Spanish, or 786-625-6620 for Creole. Services are free for low-income women who are 40 to 60 years old and have no insurance. Mocha Mini Makers are back in person. Join Mocha on Saturday, December 4th from 2 to 4 p.m. to create your very own art masterpiece. Children ages 6 and older are invited to join for creative play. To tune in virtually, visit facebook.com/mochanomi. Join our North Miami City Clerk, Vanessa Joseph Esquire, on Sunday, December 5th from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. for an in-person Mocha Sunday Stories. Inspired by National Human Rights Month and Mocha's newest exhibition, My Name is Marianne, Madam Clerk will be reading Oscar and the Eight Blessings by Richard Simon and Tanya Simon. To register for the event, visit mochanomi.org. To stay up to date with NOMI news and events, log on to our website at northmiamifl.gov. Click on Connect with NOMI on the homepage to sign up for our newsletters. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at NOMI News. That's all for tonight. Thank you.
Is there a motion for the Board of?
I'll motion the 5 or 6 folk that are presented, if you need us to do it.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin, a second by Councilwoman Estime Irvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 0. I'll go ahead and review. That was Naomi Blemire for the North Miami Commission for Women, Emanuela Fleurimont as an at-large for the North Miami. Then we have Mark Bobb for the University Relations Board, Mark Bobb for the Planning Commission, and Mark Bobb to the Charter.
Move approval of consent.
Second.
Unless a member of the City Council wishes to remove a specific item from this portion of the agenda, tabs A through K constitute the consent agenda. These resolutions and items are self-explanatory and are not expected to require additional review or discussion. These items will be recorded as individually numbered resolutions adopted unanimously by the following motion: that the consent agenda comprised of tabs A through K be adopted. I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the consent agenda. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Estime Irvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0. Tab L, a proposed resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager and city attorney to negotiate and execute an agreement between the City of North Miami and Axon Enterprise, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $208,960 annually for the provision of body-worn camera and video management solution services, utilizing the cooperative purchasing provision pursuant to Section 7-169 of the City Code, on a contract awarded through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program, request for proposals number 010720, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. Tab L.
Quick presentation. It's about the body camera for the police department.
Yes, it is. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. The item that you have before you is a request for your approval for a proposed agreement between the city and Axon Enterprises, Inc. to provide the North Miami Police Department with body-worn cameras and video management solution services for an initial 4-year term and an option to renew at an annual cost not to exceed $208,960. If you recall, in January 2017, the council approved the initial implementation of the body camera contract and services in order to reassure our community of our police department's commitment to full transparency and professionalism in the performance of their duties. The initial contract is about to run out soon. Therefore, in order to continue providing our officers with the necessary resources for the ongoing use and operation of these services, we are recommending to enter into a contract with Axon to replace the initial vendor and ensure the continued success of this program. The proposed agreement is being entered into utilizing the Sourcewell National Cooperative. Axon has extensive experience providing these services to other police agencies, both locally and nationally, including for local agencies such as the City of Miami, Miami Beach, North Miami Beach, Hialeah, Homestead, etc. Here with me in support of this item is our police chief, Mr. Larry Juriga, as well as a representative from Axon, Mr. Jeremy Legan. He's in the audience. And if you have any questions, I'm sure the police chief will be glad to answer them.
Thank you very much. Let's open it to the public. Public hearing is open on tab L. Public hearing open on tab L.
Move for
Public
approval.
hearing is now closed.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Estimate Irvin to approve the item at tab L. Motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you.
Tab M.
Tab M, a proposed resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager and city attorney to negotiate and execute an agreement between the City of North Miami and Ambro, Inc. for traffic calming improvement and construction phase engineering services for the intersection located at Northwest 120th Street and Northwest 16th Avenue at a cost not to exceed $55,810, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab.
Thank you very much. What's the address of the traffic circle?
It's located, Mr. Mayor, at Northwest 120th Street and Northwest 16th Avenue. 120th, 16th Avenue.
120, 16 Northwest.
That's
Thank you
correct.
very much. Let's open it to the public. Public hearing is open on tab M. Public hearing is now closed. Do you have any?
Move approval.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab M. The motion was seconded by Councilman Desilme. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you.
Tab N.
Tab N, a proposed resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the conveyance of 2 city-owned properties located at 975 Northwest 132nd Street and 12505 Northwest 11th Avenue to the North Miami Community Redevelopment Agency, North Miami CRA, further authorizing the city manager to execute warranty deeds and any other necessary closing documents for the conveyance of the properties, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab N.
Thank you very much, and I think We discussed that item previously, and let's open it again to the public. Public hearing is open on tab N. Public hearing open on tab N. Public hearing is now closed.
Mayor, I did have a comment on
Yes.
tab N. Junior Ramos, 1120 Northwest 125th Street, North Miami, Florida 33168. Last meeting, we had a rant by the councilman that has sponsored this item as two properties being considered, what to do with them as political move. I ask how this is not a political move. Arthur Ely, 1260 Northeast 138th, North Miami 33161. Two properties in District 4. I submitted two proposals to the CRA for a property mentioned in tab N, 12505 Northwest 11th Avenue. I have yet to receive a response as to the process and what to expect following my proposal submissions. I emailed Ms. Camo multiple times and I offered $93,000 as my previous proposal was met with no reply. My wife and I are residents of North Miami and would love to purchase our first home here, but this process has been super unorganized and disheartening. I've tried calling on multiple occasions and left messages and emails trying to speak to Ms. Camo, but never received a call back or reply about the process of obtaining the property, and no one is able to assist me in this matter. I truly believe that if these properties are available for individuals, there should be a process or at least a responsive team to help those interested in the property. That is the last one.
Thank you very much. There's no question on the dais. Your motion on the item?
I have a
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
No, so is Ms. Camo here about the last?
That's for the
No,
CRA.
Yeah, she's not here, but just so,
She's not here to answer.
no, I know, but Councilwoman, this item, I think whoever, the resident is, this is the item that was back and forth that we had, so the CRA technically would not have any direction because it was us. That's the item that we had held with the city attorney to stop and come with the direction that we had last time. So just so that the resident would know, I don't think it's the CRA. It was us giving the policy thing here.
Yeah, and
We had that.
I know we voted down the policy. So my question was, because Ms. Camo came up to the dais last council meeting and stated that she was sending back the property to the city because she got no offer. So if the comment is saying that we did get offers, are we sending more to the CRA? Like, it seems there's some.
That's why it's better to discuss the CRA during the CRA, and she's not here.
No, I'm saying, because I know the last meeting, she said she was going to send it back to the city because she got no offer.
We haven't decided yet.
No, she said, remember she had it up for 30 days?
I understand that, but we haven't do that.
So we're going to, okay.
Whatever it is, we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have the last
Okay, so are we going to discuss the policy on the CRA?
at the
board?
next time.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions? Solomon, no? Can I have a motion on the item?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Desilmay to approve the item at tab N. The motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Tab O, discussion regarding the unsolicited proposal for the potential purchase of Gwen Margolis Center.
So, this item is a discussion regarding an unsolicited proposal that was received by the city regarding the potential purchase of Gwen Margolis Center. That proposal did come in at over the 90% threshold that we have according to code of 2 appraisals.
Okay, that's meant to tonight. What we are doing, we are discussing prices. What are the 3 things we can do?
So basically, Mayor, we received this unsolicited proposal, so you can either reject the proposal, accept the proposal, or give staff other guidance, such as putting the property out for our procurement.
Thank you very much. See what we have to say. Let's start with Councilwoman Cassandra Timothée.
As this I know we discussed with Margolis in the past, well, in previous discussions, maybe in the next 3 years when we're getting ready to buy, the time to have this conversation, because I know I have been approached by several people looking when Margolis, even Councilwoman Carroll contacted me today in regards to this property as well. Just full disclosure, and today's her birthday, so happy birthday, Councilwoman Carroll Keys. I was also contacted by Greenwood Studios in regards to Gwen Margolis, and there's been several about it. So if we are going to discuss Gwen Margolis, maybe it should be an RFP that they put together. Maybe it's a P3. Maybe it's seeing, okay, what is best fit for this, center. Let's talk to, Senator Gwen Margolis' family before we decide to, sell or accept the proposal or reject. But as this is in my district, I would like to have a discussion amongst the council what the best proposal would be for Gwen Margolis, and also have a community forum with the residents to see what their ideas are. So I think kind of premature discuss it this early in the game, understanding that, in 3 years we may have to, sell some stuff, pay for some stuff. And I think it's a change for what we're getting. But at the same time, I think right now.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have no problem considering the offer. And I know it's in District 2, but the Margolis Center is an embarrassment. I bet if we were to contact the family of late great senator, they might say, take her name off of it, because
all of the centers.
Yeah, it is 1970, 1971 constructed, and other than a few coats of new paint and exterior landscaping, it's the exact same trash hole that I held high school classes at 35 years ago. So, talk a lot about grabbing that golden ring. This is an opportunity to moving the city forward in development. So I don't know what terms everybody wants to come up with, but I'm open.
And first of all, last time when we were discussing about the sale or the acquisition of Johnson & Wales, and people been saying, how are we going to pay for it? $1 million a year. And for 2 years, it's going to be over $3 million for the 3 years. How are we going to do that? And I stated on record that if we get to acquire Johnson & Wales, why not get rid of Gwen Margolis on 16123rd Street? Because it's right there. That's mean I don't think we need two centers at one location. And talking about selling the Gwen Margolis is not something that happened just right now. Way before you came on board, we were discussing the sale of Gwen Margolis and acquire Johnson & Wales. And since we are moving forward, and today, and I heard from the city attorney that the agreement is up. We both agree on the agreement. That's mean it's about to get signed maybe tomorrow or Friday or Monday the latest. And that's mean getting Johnson & Wales is real. And I don't have any problem in moving forward with when Margolis in the corner. So we can every year we have to spend money on repair. Every year we are spending money on repair. If you're gonna have Johnson & Wales right in the corner, what do you need Gwen Margolis there for? When it's a good location, and I don't have any issue moving forward with that. Now let's hear from Councilwoman Marie-Estime Irvin. I choose three. I like three. I like three
They
better.
can go in order. No, you could go. Or you.
Yeah, anybody.
Well, that's fine, Mr. Mayor. Since I came late, she's having me. But I've heard about the idea of it, selling it maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know if it was at this particular meeting for the first time. I would not want to break the tradition of usually following the lead of the district person whose district it is, but I am open because I do not have any problem. I thought it was part of the, I thought you and Councilman Galvin, which is open, were open for the discussion, which I'm open with doing that. I didn't have, like I said, I found out about it 2 weeks ago. I said, oh, okay, we're selling. I didn't know we were doing it. But if we are, I don't have any issue with it. And I'll support whatever that we're doing. But whatever the will of the council is willing to do, I'll definitely go with the will of the council. But that was, I first heard about it 2 weeks ago at the meeting. And whichever you guys want to do, I'm okay with. Thank you.
But at the same time, we have to be careful if it's going to be a quality project in the corner, because, whether it's White House Inn, right in the corner at the entrance of the city, whether it's 16, whether it's Northwest 7, whether it's 17, those are the city's entrance. And
yes,
and
but it's two things we're talking about. We're talking about selling and now you're talking about project. Oh, okay.
If someone want to buy it, for instance,
you want to know
and the
what they're
person
doing.
want to put a gas station there. That's what
I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
about, quality project.
I
That's what I said that I would like to see.
Like I said, 2 weeks ago, I didn't know about it, so I'm open to whatever discussion that we have. I'm okay with it.
Councilman,
Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions I guess I want to ask you, Mr. Attorney, just so we understand. So you're
we
saying...
are going to open it. We're going to leave.
Yeah, but I want to...
No, I'm going to let you. There is a question that's... Okay,
Right.
go ahead.
So, Mr. Attorney, it's an unsolicited proposal, and at the end of the day, we need to either accept, reject, or decide another method. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. There's nothing in the code that deals with sale of city-owned property, as we had the previous discussion. The manager doesn't have the ability to act on this, so it has to be the council.
Okay.
It's a policy decision.
And if he were to do a presentation, or whoever it is were to do a presentation right now, there's no presentation that can be done right now. I don't want to put him at a disadvantage. I don't know what the board's going to do yet. Just want to make sure.
Well, this wasn't noticed in that matter. This was just a discussion item, so I wouldn't recommend anyone doing anything.
Okay.
If the council wants to move forward, I would say make that known, and then we put it on.
Then
the
you
next
will have
council
to
meeting.
come back with
Yeah.
everything discussing when it comes to price and everything and all.
If we
those
want to go
things.
forward with entertaining the unsolicited proposal.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, that's what I want to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so as the councilman said, I definitely like to give the opportunity to the district person. But just to bring us back to what we've been discussing the last couple of weeks, I think this is an opportunity. And of course, I would like to continue, and then at that time we can make a decision. But I think this is an opportunity to start plugging in some of the things we were concerned about, both you and I, about the financing. We have an opportunity for someone to bring some dollars. Hey, they bought it, an unsolicited proposal, nobody else did. That's an opportunity for us, and this is how I'm looking at it. So I am definitely open to it. I hope that whoever it is goes and speak with you and is in harmony with you, but I'm open for the discussion.
And
Thank
I think,
you.
no, Mayor,
Oh,
if I may, with the Gwen Margolis being, in a prime location,
Yeah.
maybe, miles away from a proposed train station, it is ideal real estate. I'm pretty sure in another year or two, that 2.8 or 2.9 that Gwen Margolis has appraised for will go up. So I know we have an option to purchase Wildcat in 3 years. Maybe this is where we can say, hey, the money that we do get from Gwen Margolis is put into a trust for that. Like, let's figure out that before we just accept one. Because I'm pretty sure if someone offers 2.8 today, we can probably get 3.5 tomorrow. So let's not sell ourselves short right now, and let's, really look at how we do this. And trust me, I know, I've seen the roaches at Gwen Margolis Center. We've held several events there, but then we do realize the opportunity that we have on that corner. And we want to make sure that it's a project that the residents will back and will love, that we'll be able to see one day. We just don't want to just give it to anyone, like you said, at the gas station and so forth. So I would love to sit down with, whomever, I think it's Anthony Hodes submitted the proposal, and talk more about it and see, what our options are on that corridor. So I know we also have the library, West Dixie, and all these other places that I'm getting, interested. District 2 is popping. It's the epicenter of our city, and everyone is
But all those discussions have been going on forever.
And
it's not like we wasn't doing nothing.
But now the market is
nothing.
the market is responding. So it's either the city moves or the market moves, and right now the market is moving faster than we are in terms of development. So we see what's getting ready to take place at Johnson and Wells and other places. So I think I would like to reject this unsolicited proposal and let's maybe put it out to bid.
We're not there yet. Let's since we're gonna make decision, we're gonna open it to the public, and public hearing is open on. We don't, if it's just discussion, okay. But if we're gonna take position, it's better to hear from the public, and I'm pretty much sure we have some previously comments sent to the city clerk. Yes, sir.
Hector Medina, 1270 North, 124th Street. I'm in complete agreement with our councilperson. She hit the nail right over the head. This is premature. There is no reason to do this. And in a year or two, we'll get double or triple of what is being offered. We would send a wrong signal to even consider this offer.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is open on tab O.
Kenneth Each, 13045 Emerald Drive. A couple of weeks ago, last Wednesday, we bought the Wildcat Center. Councilwoman has a good point, but however, I don't know what's going to happen in 2 years. I don't know what's going to happen in 3 years. Inflation's eating us up. I don't know if development's going to keep going. I'd be very honest with you. A bird in hand is better than one on the wing, isn't that the saying? I don't know what the actual offer is. I don't know. I understand a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, I was driving around the neighborhood with a developer. And we were talking about the Wildcat Center, and he said, well, I would offer 2.1 for this place. And I said, are you kidding me? That's not enough money. I don't exactly know what the offer is. I'm hearing it's around $3 million. I'm not in real estate. I don't pretend to be in real estate. But at least I think, as a citizen, I would like to hear the offer on the table. There's certain procedures which we have in place. I believe the city manager said past the 90% threshold. And let's look at it. I don't know what's going to happen in 3 years. We don't have a clue. I mean, it's right here, right now. We certainly could use that $3 million to plug our budget and get this property on the tax roll.
Not the budget, or the Wildcat.
The Wildcat, I guess. Well,
not budget,
you got to bear with
the
me.
Wildcat.
but that would be and get this property on the tax roll. I look at San Souci Boulevard and on Biscayne Boulevard and San Souci Boulevard, and I see a parking lot. I walk there in the morning, and I visualize, why can't this be a 30-story building where we could get taxes on it? I look at Northwest 7th Avenue from 119th to 143rd, and I could see 40 stories going up over there in places. I don't mean to change the subject, but you know what, folks? I've been in this city a half a century. In 1979, 1980, we killed it when we said nothing higher than 4 stories. We're going to be doing a new land use ordinance next year. I beg this council, you're progressive, let's move forward and let's get some quality development where we get a tax base here that can bring these beautiful projects in. Don't let this go out the window. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Public hearing still open on tab O.
Mr. Mayor.
You have 2 minutes.
Council members.
You're going to do a presentation? Or you're going to use 2 minute public hearing?
If you would allow me a little bit more than 2 minutes.
No, we're not. We can. If we're going to do presentation, we're going to discuss. Maybe we're going to get to price and things like that. We don't want to. The discussion is towards the administration to move forward. Now, if there's something on the table at the next meeting or when they're going to burn it, then can burn all that.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to
Well, just briefly, my name is Andre Pierre. I represent Old Town Capital Partners. Along with me is the attorney, the land use attorney, Mr. Ethan was along with one of the principals, Anthony. He is sitting in the back. Basically, what's going to happen there on that site is a world-class, we could go up to, I think, 20-story, but basically, based on the size of the property, we are probably going to do about 124 rental unit apartments, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, studio, for the North Miami resident, and mostly this is going to be for teachers, nurses, police officers, first responders. This is going to be within 140% of AMI that was issued by HUD in May of 2021 based on the 2021 income housing guidelines. So basically, what the developer has proposed thus far, this is strictly housing with some commercial retail on the ground floor, about 3,000 square feet of commercial retail. This is a work, play, live neighborhood that he is creating for North Miami residents, in addition to keeping the rent at 140% of AMI. He's also interested in making sure that 434 direct and indirect construction jobs will be created on that site. History tells me correctly, based on what we have done on 1155 Nomi, it took us 6 months to go from conditional use permit to demolition into construction. So this property will bring about $1 million in new taxes for the city of North Miami, and we could probably break ground in late 2022. 12 to 18 months. So basically, this property will hit the tax roll by the end of 2023 or 2024, early 2024. In addition to those taxes, the jobs that would be created on that site, both temporary and permanent jobs on that site. So if there are some additional questions, Mr. Ethan Wasserman is here to answer any question that we may have regarding that property on that site, about that on site at Gwen Margolis. So thank you so much for having me this evening. Any questions?
Thank you very much. And I was going to say something. Sometime we were waiting for a nice project in a convenient corner of the city, and what we see is a gas station. Like on 16123rd, you have 2 gas stations, and you have the Gwen Margolis, and you have nothing in the other corner. I was expecting to have a nice project on the southeast corner of 123rd. What do we have? What it is? No, that's Express. I'm talking about 123rd. The repair shop, the Valvoline, something like that. Sometimes we are waiting to get a quality project, and at the end of the day, we end up getting something that we don't like a gas station. And I think it's a good idea for me. Moving forward will be a better idea than wait in 3, 4, 5 years and we don't know what's coming in. And can we still have public hearing? Public hearing still open on the item?
Those are open.
Mayor, may I
open, still open.
May I read the previously submitted
Yes, ma'am.
comments? Thank you. I am Marcelina Sena. I live at 1145 Northeast 133rd Street, North Miami, Florida, with my children and husband. I support the sale of the Gwen Margolis Center to Old Town Capital Partners. First, I do think we need the money to pay for the lease of the Wildcat for the next 3 years. Secondly, the price is higher than the appraised value of the center. Thirdly, Old Town Capital Partners will comply with Councilwoman Timothy resolution dated November 9th, 2020. Lastly, Old Town Capital will build some workforce housing there. I know that the city of North Miami's economy and workforce housing market would be greatly enhanced by this new mixed-use development. I humbly request that the city of North Miami sell the Gwen Margolis Community Center. Thank you, Marcelina Sena. Carol Keys. Madam Clerk, I am requesting that you read this for me at this evening's special council meeting, as I am unable to attend this evening's meeting in person. Mayor and Council, I am sorry I cannot attend this evening. I am writing concerning your discussion this evening of an unsolicited bid to purchase the Gwen Margolis Center. It is no secret that comments concerning the Gwen Margolis Center have been made public by both residents and the council, concurrently with the acquisition of the Wildcat Center. I was discussing the same issue with the manager and city attorney more than a year ago. There is no reason to accept an unsolicited bid on a prime piece of real estate and a city park property without the notice to the public to get the highest and best price available. The fact that the charter allows the sale of property at 90% of the appraised value is not adequate and a bare minimum. In today's market, we can and must do better. Most properties are selling above their appraised values. I do not know who the purchaser is nor the offered price, but it makes no prudent business sense not to put the property on the market by our city to see interest in the property. There are no emergencies here. Accepting unsolicited bids, such as I presume will be discussed tonight, is no way to represent the taxpayers of North. These inside unsolicited bids have got to stop. Thank you, former Councilwoman Carol Keys, Esquire.
That's it? Are you done?
That seems to be the last one on that issue.
Last one, also. Thank you very much. Public is still open. Public is now closed. Recommendation, maybe we're gonna.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let me ask a quick question about this issue. Madam Manager, it says you're sponsoring the item, correct?
Brought forward by the administration.
Correct. So, is your administration aware of the detail of the plans, or what was that was part of the okay?
No, as previously discussed, this was brought up because it was an unsolicited proposal, and I'm bringing it forward to the council. So I'm not bringing an item item doesn't have the full sale. If you all discuss that you want to move forward, then we would bring the item for the sale.
Okay.
That's mean if we authorize the administration to move forward, they're gonna bring it back before us with name, what it is, how much it is, everything approval with.
Yeah, no, yes, no. It's a little murky, confusing. We did get it in the proposal in our possession. Did you get a copy, or you don't know about what we got? Did you get a copy, Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, we received the unsolicited proposal.
And okay.
So they received the email. I received it too, just to say, hey, we want to buy it. This is the amount.
Yes. Okay, but so I'm trying to figure out the detail that we heard tonight. Is
the
it
site plan? No, that's not.
So this the detail that you just heard, because I just heard it from.
No, nobody has the detail.
That's what I would just.
Okay,
okay,
We're all hearing it for the first time.
okay, never mind. Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to be
The
clear.
proposal that was received was a proposal for the
I got
to
you.
purchase the
No,
property
I just wanted
at
to.
the price in that proposal. That's what we received, so we are bringing it to light.
Yes, yeah, because I was okay with the proposal, what we received, and I thought that okay, we were discussing giving you permission to move forward to the next phase. But Mayor Pierre, there's an idea now on that. So now which kind of is it public? How does that work, Mr. Attorney? Now that they put out what they want to do, is it? And so do we have to accept? How does that work? The process.
I'm sorry, sir. What's your question?
Okay, my question is the person who's representing the client came in and described what they actually want to do within the proposal that was supposed to be unsolicited. We got them. I thought our task was to come in and give the manager direction to go either to negotiate and to bring it back to us as a council, say, okay, yeah, we want to do this, and to advertise it and come back to us. So now that we do know at least the idea what the applicant wants to do in the space, how do we judge that? Is it still unsolicited proposal, or do we? Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is an unsolicited proposal. So what you have tonight is a discussion item on that unsolicited proposal to purchase the property. Any other information that you have, you can weigh in and give it whatever weight you wish, because we don't have a policy on how to do this.
So we are discussing selling the property.
Yeah, right. Today we're
Accepting
discussing
the unsolicited proposal for the administration to go back and negotiate with the proposal.
So
with
there's
the applicant.
three options on the table, Mayor: to accept, reject, or to direct the city administration to give guidance on what we're trying to do. And I know there was a public comment submitted stating, what was being done on the project. I'm surprised that person knew more than we knew. The district commissioner didn't know what the proposal was for that property. So
nobody will know.
No. The
It
public
just give you
comment.
an idea of what he's planning on doing.
No. The public comment had the details of the proposal, and I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. The public comment that the clerk read into the record had details of the project that I wasn't even made aware
No,
of.
but the point, whoever want to buy it, maybe
Yeah.
they're discussing on the street what they're planning on doing. That doesn't stop them from doing so.
No, I hear you, but I'm just saying, we don't even know what they're trying to do. All we know right now, we have.
It's the sell.
Yeah, it's a sell.
Yeah.
So, and I know Chief
And
Chief Each mentioned that we acquired Wildcat last week. We're renting Wildcat. We're leasing it.
We're not renting.
In 3 years, we'll have an option to buy. So right now, we have to pay rent $1 million a year. But I would say, hey, if we're going to sell something to pay for something, we should pay for the actual property and not pay for a rent payment. So in the 3-year option to buy, that's where we can allocate those fundings to acquire the Wildcat. So now it's ours, and we're no longer leasing and renting a center. So I'm just like, I'm
You
just
said we're not discussing the Wildcat.
No, but I'm saying that could be our proposal, that if we do sell Gwen Margolis, that it has to be put towards.
No, we're not there yet.
I know, I'm just saying, but that could be part of the policy direction to the administration.
But not for tonight, because
so
we're
what's
not
what we're
there.
doing tonight?
No, if we said, okay,
We said accept, reject, or
exactly.
put out to bid?
Okay,
What are
let's say
doing?
we accept it. It's not like they're gonna sign a contract.
They're
They're gonna
gonna get a
discuss,
check.
negotiate price and everything, and bring it back before us.
Sir,
whatever it is.
No, I need to correct that. There was an offer made.
Yes.
There was an offer made. If you say accept it, we're accepting that offer.
And we're buying it.
Okay.
So what I was saying is that if we're going to entertain an offer, let's put it out to bid. Let's get the highest amount, 1. 2, if we're going to if we're going to sell Gwen Margolis, can we put that in a trust fund to purchase the Wildcat? So that would only go to, hey, in our 3rd year to buy,
Yes.
that money is going to Wildcat. It's
I
not
agree.
going to a lease payment this year or next year or in the 3rd year.
I really
So when we
agree.
execute our option to purchase in 3 years to Mr. Tate, the money that we get for Gwen Margolis Center is going towards acquiring Wildcat.
Okay.
No, but what I'm trying to say, Councilman Timothy, when the money comes in, it's gonna be an unallocated fund. You can discuss where you want to put the money
But
when the
No.
money comes in.
Yeah, no, we can't. We don't have
She's
to
saying
decide.
now.
We don't have to decide now.
But we can.
But we can.
If we
We
want,
don't
we
have
can, but we don't want to.
What if there are other financial?
What about
let's
if
say this
tomorrow
money
there's
comes
another
in
crisis,
next.
another something?
Right. Let's say money comes in next week. I'm making this up. There might be other financial issues in the immediate need that outweigh the need for money in 3 years. Trust me, you'll get no argument with us needing to have the money to finally buy out Wildcat. But I don't want to cement us toward that decision right now, because there might be something in the
Exactly.
manager's opinion, that's more pressing right now that this.
And on top
But we
of-
did that for
and on top
Catney.
of that, but the
And
city
we're not
manager.
taking the Catney money. But no, we did that for Catney. We took the 4 million from Solomia and we put it towards the Catney escrow.
What
And what are we
Cagney? So
doing?
No,
but we're taking
no,
that to.
no, no,
to
no,
pay
no,
for
no.
what?
We didn't do
correct
that.
the
When we
Cagney.
received the money, that's when we discussed what we were gonna do with the money.
No, when we
didn't
received
do
the,
it.
so remember when you received the Solomia payment and you motioned to put that money towards Catney?
No, it was no. The $5 million is money that we took from the general fund toward the escrow account. It had nothing to do with when the money came. That's when we decided what we want to do with the money. But we're not going to tie the money to one project. As a matter of fact, the city manager received from the school board. Madam City Manager, do you want to elaborate about the escrow money that you're about to receive?
Can we
no,
finish this discussion first?
No,
Mr.
it's
Mayor?
the same. But if
No,
you
I
said
just think just
wildcat,
the
it's
escrow,
not
yeah.
the same
We're
thing.
working on releasing the escrow, but that was in excess 5 million of than what the cost have been put out for the 10.5. So it ended up, we would have had 15.5.
No, I'm talking about what you were thinking on doing with the wildcat with that money. For the wildcat with that, with the part of that money.
The release of it is going towards paying part of the lease, the release of the money.
Okay.
How much
Which
you
is
said the
excess.
release of what? I'm sorry, the Catney escrow is going to paying what?
We would be able to pay this year's lease with the release of the escrow money from Cagney.
How many and how much of the, well, how long can you pay it out? Like with that money? Can you pay 2 years, 3 years?
It's $5 million coming in.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah, I
$5
would just say
million.
the amount. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
have to just say the amount because remember there are other costs associated
There's
with
other
them.
thing. That's when. Yeah.
Okay, so at least we know we have the lease payment for the next 3 years for Wildcat. So what I'm saying is, if we are discussing Gwen Margolis, which can easily be part of a STOD, which can easily be part of whatever's happening with the train station, I would
but
say
the point is that's not what we are discussing tonight.
accept, reject,
At the
or-
next council meeting, if you decided to discuss what you're gonna do with the money, we can do that.
No, but right now we have to accept, reject, or give direction. So what are we
Not
doing?
give direction, accept, reject, or ask him to put another bid. That's all we have to say.
Give direction.
Yeah,
Okay, so I would like
it's
to.
one of those three.
So can we give direction to the administration?
We're
to
gonna.
put-
Can we finish? Wait, before we go. Yes, Council.
Confuse us all the
Got a
time.
little light skin.
Yeah, right about now.
Quick,
Quick question, Councilwoman Timothy, in reference to your proposal, would that,
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
What
sir.
about if tomorrow we decide and the roof of Sunkist Grove?
oh, it's
fall
already
down?
bed, don't even talk about that.
That's why we
already
say we
bad.
don't want to tie
We
the
don't-
money.
that's already bad,
Let's
Mr.
go.
Mayor. So
That's why
let's not tie it,
let-
but
when we
put
have
it
the
out
money,
there.
we will
No.
decide it.
Listen, I get it, and I understand. We definitely, and I've known the city, we don't want to be, especially when we are tied in terms of we don't have no cash flow. So again, we back to our credit not good, so we don't want to tie to anything. But my question to her, which I was finding out from the councilwoman, if with the condition, would that help you to vote with the item with this? Because I am in supporting of the item, Mr. Mayor. I'm trying to bring her as the district person along. If she's saying that, okay, if we say we're going to put it in an escrow and go with it, I don't see nothing wrong with it if that's not. However, I was going to say to her, is it okay with the option if there's an emergency that we would take it out? I mean, that's what we are saying, that we don't want to be tied down because if there's an emergency, we're going to take it down. Unless there's something people are not telling me, because I don't see the point. If we selling it, it's there, and we all know if the building is on fire, we're going to put water on it, then, you know.
If you may,
But,
Mr. Mayor, Councilman Desume, if you would allow me, as you, I am trying to make sure that I can also bring in the councilwoman, because I'll be honest with you, I am,
Okay,
cash
is
is
it the
king.
question
I'm
if
still,
we
I'm still speaking, Mr. Mayor, please,
No,
if you
I'm
allow me.
trying to give you the floor. Give me a second. I'm
Can
give you the floor.
Can I finish my thought?
Okay,
please?
go ahead.
Thank you. So what I have in mind is I understand your ill feeling, but if the board, the rest of the board look like we kind of sort of in agreement with just a little bit of a caveat, if we could say that we would take that money, those dollars that we have, and put it aside like your will is for the Wildcat and not touch that, would that make you a little bit more comfortable?
Yeah.
Because it looks like we.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That was my
think
question.
That's an area where we can, we can budge, but I'm also a little bit concerned because of the amount. Like, if let's just say
Okay,
we put it out to bid for 30 days and we get 2.8. But if somebody comes with two, I can tell you right now, I met with Greenwich Studios, the developers, and they were willing to take it for. I'm sure if we would have given them that option.
We don't discuss
No,
price.
but I'm just saying. We also want to make sure that you're getting bang for your buck. So
No, I understand.
So if someone is offering us 2.9 million, are we just going to say yes, or do we take the 3.5 that someone else is going to offer us and we put that towards the Wildcat? I just want us to make a fiscally sound.
But the point is, the way you sound, it's like if we put the money toward the Wildcat, you will agree with
I
that.
would rather it go out to bid.
Okay, that's mean you don't agree on anything then. Let's not say put it.
No. If
you're not gonna vote for it.
Because if I'm going to be outnumbered because everyone seems to be
No,
in
it's not
support.
out of number.
No.
We wanna.
There's two options, Mayor.
We wanna work with you and let's say
we're trying to
whatever we wanna
compromise and see
more.
what
Tell
we
us.
can
So,
Yeah, so I would like for
let's
this.
see. We move forward with it. We move forward with it the way it is. Do you want the money to be tied to the Wildcat Center, which is what I want?
And you say you want more
And I
money.
think Scott would like to see that.
No. So my first.
Because understand, you can ask the money to be tight when the money comes in, and the council meet and say we don't want that anymore. That's what you
No,
can change.
I hear you,
something
Mayor.
every council meeting.
But what I'm saying is, the first thing is to make sure that we're getting the best bang for our buck, right? I'm not gonna
Got it.
sell something short. If my car is worth $10,000, I am not taking $5,000 for it. So, to me, that's the first thing, making sure that we're getting the max amount that we can get out of that prime real estate, because it is prime. Like, if we were putting
But
Griffin,
across the street was a prime real estate, and you see what you get.
Which one? I'm sorry?
The next one,
the gas station?
not even the gas, the repair shop. That's what you get at the prime location.
No, but I'm just saying that this is ours. This is our
I'm talking
property.
about I understand.
No. So this is our property that we're trying to sell, or we're hoping to get the best bang for our buck.
Yeah, but when you're doing government selling, it's not the cost of what you're selling.
It's the project
what
value.
you're getting when the project is there.
Exactly.
You got to see the money that's coming as
And we
tax
don't know
revenue
that.
also.
No, and I understand that. Like, I'm just hearing about the project today. So we don't know what we're getting ready to sell Gwen Margolis for. They could bring another site plan is for a gas station. Like, once we sell, like, how do we know what parameters we have for what they're going to build on that site? So
No,
that's
when
one.
they bring it back before us.
No,
yes,
I'm
we can
telling you.
put
So
that.
that's just because once we sell, we sell.
No, they're gonna have to bring it back for
So the-
approval. We can put those.
No,
those
I hear you,
there.
Mayor. So, and then the second thing is, if the will of the council is to accept this proposal, then my option B would be, okay, make sure we tie that money to purchasing Wildcat, not leasing, purchasing. So it would not go to lease payment. It will go to the actual 11.2 that we would have to use to purchase Wildcat. And if there's some extreme reason why, the sky's falling, we need to take that money, then the council has the will and the authority to use that money for whatever deemed emergency we deem necessary. But my first option would be to say, hey, let's put it out to bid and give it a fair and transparent, process. That's why I sponsored the item to sell city-owned property last week, so that we can give management direction. So we wouldn't have this discussion. But now that we're here, we have to make up these decisions. This is where we have to, debate it, deck it out up here. So if you're gonna listen to the District 2 Commission, I know I just got here in June, but I've been living here all my life. My first option is, let's put it out to bid and let's get, the best proposals for it. The second option would be is if the will of the council is to accept this proposal, then you attach the money to the purchase of Wildcat, not the lease agreement.
And that's where you
just
lose
have a
me.
question.
I don't want to make this about Wildcat. This really,
This is
No,
But I
because
do-
it may just
I
go to
wanted
lease
to
payments.
help
But no, let's talk about Wildcat because because for a moment, when Margolis was on the table for Wildcat, when Keys was here, Keys said, hey, let's sell Wildcat let's sell Gwen Margolis to get Wildcat. That was her idea. And now that, hey, we're in the process of leasing Wildcat, and in the third year we're gonna have to buy it. Hey, let's start making the adult decisions to say how we're gonna purchase it.
And honestly, I don't need you to tell me how to make an adult decision. Out of all fairness, if no matter when we sell the property to anybody, they're going to have the ability to pull a fast one and do with whatever they want to, but they're going to have to go through us eventually to do that.
Correct.
Trust me, if you said, Scott, we could just put $10 million in a reserve right now, but that's not realistic for any project because something else might come up in the nearer term, that outweighs waiting 3 years to spend money for Wildcat.
Yeah.
We're going to have other sources of revenue. This isn't like this is the only money we're going to get.
All we have to do, we have to have a buy open that the city gonna move forward. The city not gonna.
Oh no, for sure. I'm sure when White House
and
comes up,
all those
up
projects
next
coming in,
week,
and the motion on the table. The motion on the table is to move forward.
There's no motion. There's no motion yet, sir. But I have a question.
Wait.
I have a question, please. May I?
I'm gonna give.
Sure.
Okay. Don't say there is no motion on the floor. I'm the one that I'm the one that shared the meeting. Go ahead.
So, I have a question for the Mr. Mayor. I have a question for you, please.
For me?
No, the other mayor.
You have to say former mayor.
He's still mayor.
The former mayor.
Well,
yes.
Are you still mayor?
No.
Okay.
Just joking.
That job is not for me. Thank you.
I question: is your client willing to raise the price?
No, we cannot discuss price.
Why can't we do that? I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
But since you have a question.
Right, so I'm just trying to.
Less than a year ago, you had the property appraised twice. One in February, I think the other time was in January.
Please don't discuss numbers.
Yes.
Right.
Because
you can discuss idea of raising, but not numbers.
No. So what the reason why?
But it's not only price. What we doing on that side is totally different from what we have heard other people may want to do. We're talking about creating jobs for this community. We're talking about, making sure that we are building workforce housing for police
we don't need to
officers, teachers, and fire.
Mr. City Attorney, Mr. Jeff, you want to say something? I see you discussing with.
I think this discussion is going way too far, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you.
We noticed a discussion item.
You guys vote on
it sounds like right now the council's
ready to vote
on a proposal to build buildings. None of this was voted on.
That's not.
We have an empty house here. I think we're going to have real problems if you all take this out. I think you give us some guidance.
Yes.
We bring back an item for the next meeting.
Because I had a question after.
So let me just, so I understand the steps. We either make a proposal to accept, reject, and if we accept, for example, then it comes back to us. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can say we want to accept the offer, we want you to negotiate with them for more money, whatever, but we'll bring back an item that we notice to the public that says there's a resolution to purchase from this company to do whatever. But right now, I mean, I'm hearing for the first time tonight what this project is. I didn't even know this project.
We all are hearing
so
it
the
for the
residents
first time.
don't know either. So we should not be considering this tonight. That's not what was noticed on the agenda.
So I'd like to make a motion to accept this project with the caveat that the monies that we do get from it, it's put in a reserve for the Wildcat.
And also, I would like to do a friendly amendment.
It's not the project.
I mean. What did I say? I'm sorry.
You said project. You mean the offer?
It's for the offer.
The outcome of the sale of the outcome of the sale should be tied to the Wildcat. That's
so just so that.
Purchase.
So my intent is to make sure that I can bring in the
Whatever
councilwoman on
but
board.
My point, I was gonna add, but they also can negotiate the price. Give them the leeway. So they can negotiate also.
That was my question.
Yeah, and come up with the best negotiation
so
with them.
I'll take that amendment, and that's fine. But whatever the price is, eventually that it goes towards the purchase of the Wildcat.
Yes, we
Okay.
And I
we agree
second
with
that.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, and just for discussion, Mr. Mayor, real quick. Mr. Attorney, that was my question, specifically about, are we able to get right now, since everybody's talking about prime property and where it is sitting in the climate, if we could get a appraise done currently, or is it, can we just, as long as we all agree that the manager or somebody will have a mechanism of negotiating something better, whatever the case is, I'm okay with it. But that was my question. Is there a proposal? But I think Mayor Pierre answered that question. Said there was one that was done in January by us, or by who did it?
What happened?
He said there was
The
a
appraisal
proposal.
that the city did.
The city did
appraised
one?
it twice
No,
when we were
I
trying to-
praised.
That's what I'm saying.
What
We
we
did?
heard.
The
No.
Appraised
management,
it?
the management appraised
We
the
did.
property.
Oh, okay, so she.
When they were
Yeah,
trying to sell the
yeah,
Wildcat,
I know.
it was
We-
appraised.
Okay, this year.
Not sell the Wildcat.
I
That's
mean,
a-
you know what I meant.
Listen,
When we were
Okay.
trying to sell
but you
Gwen.
said
So
that
you
was
know where
Carol
we
Keys.
are.
When we're
You said
trying-
that was Carol Keys' ID, and
Hardin.
when Carol Keys was here, we wasn't
got it. Thank
discussing
you.
about Wildcat. We were talking about Greenwich and Gwen Margolis more than Gwen Margolis and the Wildcat.
We had longer discussions, but this is what previous administration, about.
With
Gwen.
previous
So
administration.
let's
Yeah.
decide what we want.
Okay,
But-
okay, please.
So, yeah.
Okay,
So, no, but
we
can
have a
we-
motion on the floor.
In a
and
second.
Mayor, can we just make sure it's specific that it is going to
We
purchase?
have a motion on the floor.
Wildcat?
If the city clerk wants
Yeah, that's
more
for
clarification, we will
No
do that.
lease, no operation? No, I'm asking
said
her to
purchase.
clarify.
But why would you be opposed to, and this is why I don't want to make this about
the
the
same
Wildcat
thing.
tonight, but why would you be opposed to this being used toward lease or operation? I mean, that's
What
up
it
for
is.
management to decide if what they need right
No,
now.
because in 3 years, that's why I wanted Mary to Councilman Estimate Irvin to clarify her motion, and she's
And I
shaking
did.
her head yes at me. So in 3 years, we have an option to buy. In 3 years, that would be the time that, hey, this money, if it's not used for some emergency, that it should be used to purchase Wildcat, not for operations, not for lease, because in 3 years,
Yeah,
we
but
have.
Councilman Timothy, the other day you asked the city manager, we need about $1.2 million for the lease and operation. If the city manager decided she want to take some of the money
But she
for
just said
that,
she's going to take it from Catney, escrow.
if she don't take it from Cagney money gonna be there.
No, but that's.
It's the same thing.
But no,
It's
it's not
one
the same
money.
thing. It's us taking from different potholes.
We're
So-
way off. We're way off. We're having a
Right, so we
theoretical
made,
budget.
we made, right.
No, it's not a theoretical budget because she just said that this is where she's going to take the money in 2 years. So if we're talking about future money that's coming in, which Catney is future money because you've already stated where you're going to take the money for lease payments and operation, then put the two, whatever the amount is, to the purchase of Wildcat. And that's what I asked Councilwoman Estimate Irvin to please clarify what her motion is.
Right, and my motion was to put the money, to put it in a restricted account for the purchase of
For the
Wildcat. I
purchase,
did say
thank
that,
you.
And I think it was seconded by the mayor.
What would that mean,
Second.
purchase of the Wildcat? Would it?
We're leasing with,
Yeah.
to buy.
Okay, so but if
On
you
the third
pay,
year-
if you pay for the
If you don't
lease-
pay your lease, you're in
Yeah,
default.
you that's still paid, but so
are we
that's still
planning-
kind of, so that'll be up to the manager to determine.
Yeah.
Here-
We're
here's
going
the
too
prob-
far,
Here's the
guys.
problem that I have. We're going to have lots of different projects come to us over the next several years. District 2 is popping. District 1's got a few things going, et cetera. Each one of them is going to have money associated
four of
with them. I wish it was as easy to say we can just make a decision now that we're glued to for the future, but it's not that easy. There may be, for instance, let's say we take $500,000 from this project, $500,000 from the next project, $500,000, add it all up, and we start saving for a 3-year purchase. That I think is prudent. But saying right now that this, to whatever the dollar amount is, goes only for Wildcat. What do we say when we have to lay off staff, or when we have to cut service, or when we? That's where I don't agree, is that it should be just cemented into one place. We all have the idea. We've got an agreement. We need to plan up and buy Wildcat.
If you would allow me, Councilman, I think that like we're doing now, we have that option. So let's restrict it. And if it becomes an issue, we can always come back and say, hey, we did restrict this, let's unrestrict it. So just so that we can give the district person that say, that comfort
but
to
the point
support
is-
something that we apparently most of us want to support, let's just restrict it. If there's an emergency, we're going to have the same conversation that we're having now, and we'll unrestrict it. So let's just, just move it forward.
If I may, to me, if I honestly agree with you, but with them, I really don't see the need, because if something comes up tomorrow, we will come here and make the. So really, if y'all want to say it's restricted, make everybody feel better, as long as you're gonna commit, you're voting with it, I'm okay with it. If you're not now you need to let us know, because I'm not gonna go with that. That's what that was my question earlier. If you said in recent, yes.
I think right now, Mayor, can we table the discussion?
Okay, no,
the reason why, the reason why, because I know I'm gonna get emails and calls. Like this is.
We all get emails and calls.
Give him my cell phone. Give him my cell phone number.
No, because it went from this thing went from a cell to now a project that's 120 stories.
What's project set up?
No,
there's no project.
I'm just saying it was put on the record.
No, let me share with you some political advice and how to navigate this body. If you want to negotiate a fine point, then that means if you get it, you go with the majority. You don't negotiate it and then vote against it. That's
no. And I hear you. And trust me, I've been in here. I've dealt with politicians now for 12 years, so I get it. But at the same time, too, I think
it's vastly different sitting up here than it is being in the.
I'd rather be staff, because y'all.
Yeah, I know.
Having the authority to vote is different. Watching people doing it is too different. Take leadership and responsibility and vote for. It's two different stories. Two different things.
I get
Sitting in the audience and
because
because
if we know that you're not voting for it, then we could go back to our original plan, and then we tying it in because to make you happy.
As a priority, or the food pantry as a priority.
No,
so
that should be.
We do. And as a matter of fact, we need a building for the food pantry. We need to upgrade that. That's when we don't want to tie the money to that. If we already did that, the motion on the table is to, and I second Councilwoman Estimate Urban, except she's going to remove the money tied to the wild card.
Are you okay with removing it, or you are that tired?
No, I think that's.
No, you're not going to vote for it.
No, you didn't let me talk, Mayor.
You blocked yourself out. You got the opportunity to say yes or no.
No, Mayor.
Answer the question.
I'm about to say, you better let me talk.
Go ahead.
Don't make me come across this table now.
Go ahead.
But no, so my thing is, I would go with Mary's option. I would want it to be, because if you think about it, me and Councilwoman Estimate Urban are going to be the only one up here when it's 30th.
First of all, nobody knows that.
Nobody knows what's
I'm just saying, I don't know what's going to happen. But y'all turned out.
Let me say this.
I could still run for mayor.
Yes.
Good luck.
And we can change the charter.
But so no,
there's nothing
that's happen.
Let me say this.
I have no intent to run for mayor, but you follow what I'm saying. We can't make predictions.
And I can run for mayor, but
I'm saying.
And we just appoint someone on the charter board. We can change the charter.
Wait. I think we're getting a little bit.
And you
Mr.
don't know
Mayor,
who's gonna die tomorrow.
That's my point.
Wait, don't talk about me.
all right.
But I think politically, we've been a little bit. But this issue of who's going to be up here tomorrow, today, nobody knew we were going to be where we are a year and a half from now. So quite honestly, nobody knows. And I think there was somebody who came up and made that decision. So every day it's a blessing. And you being in religious, we know that. So we don't know who's going to be here tomorrow. Practically, yes, you with your terms and this and that. But who knows? They may have a what they call it, a recall on by the time they get their water bill, which they did in 19-something and put y'all out. So we don't know. So we cannot even talk about what's going to happen the next day, which they did in what year, Scott? In 19-something, after the people vote up their water bill? I knew you was. So we don't know what's going to happen.
And understand at the same time.
Yes.
We are elected to serve for a
at
term.
this point.
No, I hear you.
As long as the term is not expired, we
have to
make
look at right
until the last minute.
And I think we and with this
review, or which one is this?
But
did they change your term, Mayor?
I think we could do what we.
But no, I think Mary's motion
Did we second it or do you second it?
The mayor
I
seconded.
second it.
Oh, okay.
Voting like that, if
Yeah.
as it is. If
Okay,
you're
that's
okay
fine.
with it.
So Mayor,
Just
can
to
you
get the
state your,
5 vote.
I think we
Huh?
got it
can you
right
state your
now.
motion again, just so that we're clear?
Yeah, to tie the money, but we will untie it if we
Right.
need it.
Yeah,
there
we will
you go.
untie the
Thank-
money
thank
if we
you.
need it for Suncase.
No, yeah, I know y'all won't untie it for that.
Because everything we spend too much money in one, two, we need to
You
spend
telling
money
me?
in the other side of the city.
You telling me?
We have Cagney,
No.
$5 million coming from Cagney. We need to do something for Suncase Community
Yes.
Center and the food pantry.
We will.
Maybe take $3 or $4 million to finish that. That's when if
Not
you're talking
from
about
there, but
tight
we
the
will.
money.
Are you ready
I
to
see
call
the
the
city
question?
manager is crying. She's thinking
With
about
all
how-
The mask is there to
She's
soak up her
crying.
tears.
But you have to look the other way around.
And I know what happened to the water park in District 4.
What
Oh, it's
was the
coming.
problem?
It's coming.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
Suncase.
So can we vote?
Okay. No, we have the motion and
And the
Madam
second?
Clerk, please.
So I'm just going to restate the motion to make sure that I have
You
it.
don't have to. Whatever we say on record.
Oh, Lord.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Estimate Irvin. The motion was seconded by Mayor Bieneme. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you very much. Citizen Forum. Citizen,
Yeah.
yes. Former mayor. You're the former mayor, right?
I think you're talking about.
But your son is taller than you.
That's the-
Nice title.
We got former mayor and future mayor.
Yes, exactly. Let's get it straight now.
Thank you very much.
My good
Citizen
friend is-
Forum.
Hector Medina, 1270 Northeast, 124th Street. You should have listened to the attorney. We pay him a fortune, you know, and he told you to give them the guidance and to, you know, to give them, let them do their job. You, frankly, it's a disappointment. What you, this vote, you just give away millions of dollars. Just give them away. That's what you did. And now the people are going to know.
Citizen Forum. Chief. Oh,
I'm not used to this.
Citizen Forum, you don't want to say anything?
Yes, you may, sir.
Yes,
Go
sir,
ahead.
sir.
Your
Yeah.
name, you're going to state your name and address for the record, and you have 2 minutes to make your.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah,
Yes,
this
sir.
is my first time doing something
No
like
worries.
this.
Okay.
You know, so bear with me a little bit. My name is Castus Y. McKnight. Castus Y. McKnight, address 685 Northwest 121 Street. And I'm the president for McKnight Auto Repair and Auto Sale. I have a sewer system run across there, and we have a new neighbor. They have a tractor trailers, a business over there which is vital to our community. We need those trucks for our economy, for the U.S. But the problem is, I have no idea it was so heavy. When it comes over my side, it sinks into the sand. So the sewer is there, and the sewer is made out of brick. I would hate to see it collapse into our sewer, because it would shut down 7th Avenue corridor. And what I would like permission from the mayor to advise staff. I have 2 cars out there. You know, I don't want to think it's for sale. I have 2 cars out there. The cars is 10 feet from the street, in front of my property. And when what the car does, it gives the truck driver, as they pull out, an idea that they can't go any further, and they will back up and then they will exit. But if the car is not there, it come over, it sink. I cleared a couple of times, and the code have told me that I'm responsible for the swale, and it's right now my swale is smooth. My neighbor is a little bit rugged because the truck, there's no car there, so the truck goes over there. It's a little bit rocky right now, but the good thing is when it goes over there, it goes at a 45-degree angle, and only one wheel rests on the sewer. When it come over to my property, both wheels would sit on the sewer, and the sewer is made out of brick. It was a residential neighborhood, but they turned it into a revitalization district, and it's commercial. You know, so with this new vehicle, you know, which I gladly that we have a tractor trailer over there in operation. I'm sorry.
No, you can speak since this is your first time.
Yeah.
We allow you another
Yes,
minute.
Mr. Mayor. So I would like to ask staff, if code comes to my area and see those 2 cars, I keep a tag on it, by the way. I talk to a police officer and says, McKnight, as long as there's a tag on the vehicle, it should be fine.
We have the city manager. We have the city manager. And Madam City Manager, you have the police department, you have code enforcement here.
Mm-hmm.
If they can address that, Madam City Manager.
Yeah.
685.
It's 685 now. All I ask in permission for is to have those 2 cars so that when the truck comes out, they realize the car is just to remind them that they can't come any further. They would back up and then they would,
Because that dead ends against I-95. His street dead ends against I-95.
Madam Manager, if you allow me, as the district rep, Ms.
District 4.
Patterson, how you doing, sir?
Okay.
We spoke on the phone before, but there was an issue. Ms. Patterson, I don't know if you could recall, but there was something that occurred, Mr. McKnight. There was an officer that we had dealt with the police department. But this is an issue that we know. I don't know if it was this particular issue, but there was something else that we've been following along with Mr. McKnight.
Well, the code enforcement officer, she was doing her job, and I was doing my job, because my first job is to protect the interests of the United States. As president of the company, McKnight Auto Repair and Auto Sale, I consider it a U.S. company. And I think the code enforcement officer, there was a statement, the language on my license, and I based on the comments she made to me, and having a dealer license on an auto repair license, I thought she was interfering with me collecting revenue for the government of the United States. And we are in a pandemic. We spend out over $5 trillion to fight this virus. And in the company account, I saw where the government put money in McKnight Auto Repair account. And when I saw that, I realized I have to try to generate revenue back for my government. So I was working hard to do such things, Mr. Councilman.
Okay. Since we have the city manager here, I think tonight she will give you an appointment. I don't know if it's code enforcement or whoever is going to meet with you and try to solve that, okay?
Miss Crystal?
Crystal, yeah, she's the code enforcement.
I just want
code enforcement director.
Mr. Mayor, I love this city.
He knows Crystal.
Mr. Mayor, I love this city. I took an oath as a naturalized citizen to defend the United States of America.
Okay.
And it's not just that. All resources that we use is important to me.
Okay, Crystal gonna talk to you, and you have the chief of police here. That's mean they're gonna talk to you and add.
Thank you so much.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Citizen forum still open. Citizen forum is now closed.
I have previously submitted
sorry,
comments.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Mark Monesteem, 1815 Northeast 150th Street. Hello all. Many years ago, the city was the best place to work at. I will not name the department I work for. Your insurance plan for the employees does not make sense. People only tolerate it because they have to. For a family of 3, we are paying $108 or more compared to other companies like FedEx. A family of 3 is paying $25 with more benefits coverage. Whoever told you the employees are happy with the insurance is a lie. I have yet to see any council member come to speak at Storm, Water, and Sewer or Streets Department. Especially at Water and Sewer, we are the one who save the city money, and we are fixing pipes and sewage water. We do the job so you guys are not on the 5 o'clock news, 10 o'clock news. This department will never be respected by none of you for the type of stuff we do dealing with hazardous materials in the water, but you will never see it because the older guys look out for themselves and not the new guys coming in. Guys are working 2 jobs even before the pandemic and after. You have more employees leaving than a fast food restaurant. Jim Mayer, we are not happy with the rate increase in the health insurance. Joe never told us it was going before council. Otherwise, you would have all of us lined up. Please, we're asking for help. It is a big jump. Thank you, city employees, 1815 Northeast 150th Street. Junior Ramos, 1120 Northwest 125th Street, North Miami, Florida 33168. I watched that special meeting on Wildcat Center. Why does it seem Mayor Biename and Councilman Galvin were sitting on the dais doing the bidding for Mr. Tate? Not to mention Mr. Tate pretty much being a bully to the city. Jessica Austin, 1140 Northwest 125th Street, North Miami, Florida 33168. Happy holidays, everyone. How sad that there is such a dearth of concerned citizen availability in NOMI that only one person, Mark Bob, is available to serve and was appointed to the Community Relations Board, the Planning Commission, and the Charter Board. Along with providing an adequate level of police services to Surfside, Golden Beach, Opa-locka, Bal Harbor, Aventura, Biscayne Park, Indian Creek, Bay Harbor, please allocate funding for heightened police gang suppression services to Sunkist Grove. Get ready, get ready, get ready, Sunkist Grove Fabulous Festival is coming. Check out Sunkist Grove, North Miami on Facebook for more info. Blessings! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. That is the last comment.
All set, man?
She really is.
All set? Madam Clerk, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. That's the next pressure, to do something with it. Thank you. And council report, District 3.
Thank you. Good evening, Councilwoman Mary.
I was going to do it for you. I was going to do District 2.
Never do that. Sorry, sir. Just want to say happy early Thanksgiving to everyone. I share this message with you. Gratitude offers us a direct connection with the power above. Today, let us remember that no matter how turbulent and difficult our lives may feel, we can always find something to be thankful for. So I hope you that are listening, I hope I get to see you on Thursday with your families at 10 o'clock for our Thanksgiving parade that was announced earlier. Also, just remember December 4th, Councilwoman Timothy, State Representative Dottie Joseph, and myself will partner up to do the mammogram, a free mammogram for the community from 8 to 4 at Griffin Park. Again, we have to register, so please take advantage of this. If you have no insurance or you or low income, I believe you can just 305. Yes, that's actually it's men and women. Right. So 305-856-4914, and in Haitian Creole 786-625-6620. Join me and my colleagues on December 11th for the Get in Gear ride. We are hosting, heading on the west side. So we're going to see you, Councilman Alex Izume. We're going to be on the west side. I thank you for to Katia Filippo and the Robert Filippo Epilepsy Foundation for their participation. Last month, we painted the city purple. So again, please don't forget to bring your bikes December 11th. And then you've been hearing me announce about this Winter Wonderland that's going to happen December 17th. We're still looking for sponsors. If you are here listening, please call Patricia Levasseur at 786-385-2576, 786-385-2576. And also save the date, January 1st, Soup Jumu celebration. You'll be hearing more about that. And that's all that I have this evening. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you very much, District 2.
Thank you, Mayor. This week, we District 2 distributed over 400 turkeys to our residents. I just want to thank staff, the police department, public works, parks and rec, and the turkey popo, Katia Filippo. She checked me several times because my turkey count was off. So Katia, you're the real MVP. And of course, Alex, Mike, Jeff, and Larry for the additional 150 turkeys that was donated to District 2 residents. Yeah, it was rough, y'all. It was rough. I'm sorry, City Manager, your Tahoe smells like turkey juices. And last but not least, see you all Thursday, Thanksgiving morning at 10 a.m. for our Thanksgiving Day Parade. I'm actually a little sad because I'm not helping planning it this year, but I do not miss being at City Hall till 3 a.m. and waking up at 6 a.m. So PIO, good luck. I'll see you guys at 10 a.m.
Thank you very much.
Sure, I'll just echo happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And as you leave tonight, if you're in the building, you're going to be here. The angel tree is downstairs from St. Stephen's Church. Drop by, take a little angel off. It has the gender and age of a child who is in the St. Stephen's AIDS Ministry. Those are kids who are either infected themselves or affected because they have family members who are dealing with HIV. So stop by, pick up a present. You can bring the unwrapped toy up here to the second floor between now and December the 9th. And thank you to everybody who's made the Angel Tree possible now. I think this is our 15th year. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Cool.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Happy holidays to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving, like everyone. Councilwoman Esther Irving, I will meet you at the, whatever the stop is. And I could even provide breakfast. I want to thank Councilman Galvin and Mayor Bien-Aimé for helping out, although, you know, we didn't have the big thing like Councilwoman Timothy with 150 turkeys, but they certainly helped out to get the additional turkeys to the families in need in District 4, and they are still calling, which is kind of crazy. But so I want to thank everyone and have a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving with your loved ones, and please be safe. We are still in the middle of a pandemic. But I do have a question, Mr. Mayor, if you allow me. I got to get this, that now that we have Mr. Sigarelli here, and a manager about this question with this thing, because it's been bothering me since last week, in regards to the insurance question. And I kind of forgot about it, but somebody mentioned it. The thing.
Here's the HR director, Mr. Joe Roglieri.
Before we go into that, I wanted to publicly thank Mike McDermott. He got some extra turkeys from him. Thank you so much for that. Just want to put that on the record.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Joe Roglieri, Human Resources Director. So I did carefully review the email that was sent by the PBA attorney, and there were multiple factors that he was discussing. Some of them were brought up at the meeting, but that's not what the renewal was about. The renewal was only about which company we were going with and which minor revisions we were going to make that would reduce the increase. A lot of the things that were brought up by the PBA attorney and also by the members at the meeting are items that are up for negotiation. We pay a certain amount towards a child. We pay a certain amount towards a dependent, spouse or registered dependent, and family coverage. Of course, the bargaining unit members want us to pay more. We pay $150 and $250. They want more. We told them at that meeting that is not what this meeting was about. This meeting was about choosing a carrier, making a change or staying with the same carrier, and accepting the revisions that were recommended by the agent of record, the risk director, and myself. I verified with the risk director, with my staff, that there was concurrence on the direction we were going, and Karen Muir, the former risk director, is the one who said this was coming before council. It was notified in accordance with all of the regulations for posting that something is going to be on the agenda for everybody to know about. So that's my answer to the statements.
Madam Manager, it's important that whenever these negotiations happen or discussion, we up here are relying on you and your staff to give us the accurate information, because I was very adamant at that during that meeting because of those rates. And thank you, Joe, for that response. I just felt that we needed to hear at least from him, because I was under the impression that I voted because of the statement that he made that staff was okay with it. And I said, okay. And I remember exactly what I said. If they're okay with paying more money, I ain't got to pay no money, then that's fine. But because I was saying, why don't we, as a city, even go and corner whatever United, whatever the insurance, the other insurance, and then go back to Aetna, because I really didn't like the fact that they just said this was it. I didn't like that particular negotiation, but I was not going to go out for it because I felt like, okay, I have a fight to pick, and if staff is okay with that, they got to pay, then I'm okay with it. So I left it alone based on that. And I probably, other colleagues up here might have done the same thing because of those recommendations. And the next week, we're hearing, but what Mr. Regreri just stated is there was some stuff, I guess, when they presented to, whenever that negotiation happened, I don't know if that didn't go back to the rest of the folks, but I did get some comments from family members. It was a little bit harsh, and even us, they paying a little bit more than the counties in terms of that. And that was my I don't know, Ms. Mayor, and I respect everyone, and Joe, how it was just brought up to that number. And we're okay with it, but now finding out that it was not really people paying a lot of money. So that was just it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you,
Mr. Mayor,
colleague. Yes.
I too, Councilman DeSome, as I looked at the staff report even further, I was kind of appalled to see how much the employee and spouse, employee and children and family increased by $32, $30, and $46. And I thought it was a savings at first, and then when she clarified on record that it was an increase. And, employees right now, they're just getting off of furloughs, and to get this hit, it was a ouch. So I don't know if there was any way, like Joe, how did you announce it?
When they are doing the presentation, there's something maybe you guys miss.
I just want to
know,
like,
the agent of record, they lose money by writing that policy because people filing claims was more than the cost of the policy. That's mean it's like they spend $5 million for claims when the policy is about $4-something million. That's when it's like you have car insurance and you did 5 accidents during the year. When you're gonna renew your policy, it's gonna go up because of those claims. That was one thing that we need to take in consideration. And in the negotiation, the city said, I'm paying $150 per month for your child. If you said I want the city to pay $200 or $250, so I can pay less, now it's going to be on the city manager to find the money in a budget to do so. That's when it wasn't just something just
Thank you, Mayor. That's
like
exactly correct. Now, the principle that we've had in this city is we are providing employees with low-cost health insurance. The increase does not affect the employee coverage. They pay $10 a week. The city is paying that increase. That's been the principle this city has had. Typically, when bargaining units want more coverage for dependents, there's a trade-off. Pay $25 a week for employees so we can fund more for those of the employees who have dependents. And again, when the PBA attorney comes up and says, in the county they pay a lot more. Well, the county is in the FRS pension plan. We have a city pension plan that costs twice as much as the FRS pension plan. And this is not the forum to be negotiating for those changes.
I don't think we were negotiating.
No, but I just want to know, because now we're hearing from employees, and I've got stopped by several employees as well. How were they, I guess, so how did you announce it to them? Because that's a blow. Like, I don't know what the
you got to tell them they need to stop doing claims for no reason. You need it's over $5 million in claims.
That's in your
when the
department,
policy is $4.4 million. That's when it's not just easy like that.
Councilwoman, to answer your question, the
instead
PBA
of going
attorney,
to urgent care, they go to emergency and cost the insurance more money. All those things, we need to educate them and how to manage the policy.
So, Councilwoman, exactly what the PBA attorney said was correct when he said the amount of input the employees have at that meeting is only limited to, do they want to agree and support the renewal with the minor revisions to the health plan? It is not the meeting where they negotiate how much they're paying. As far as when we tell them, we tell the reps at that meeting. We communicate with the reps. There's some restrictions for us communicating directly with members. We have to communicate with their reps, and then the reps share that news. When we have open enrollment, Thursday and Friday, we'll have the open meetings and we'll discuss all the changes and the costs. For those who have dependents, there is a lower cost plan. I may not necessarily recommend it, but there are options within this plan to get lower cost for those of you who have dependents.
Thank you very much.
But Mr. Mayor, what occurred or what we assume occurred should not, Madam Manager, happen anymore in terms of us getting information. I felt like, and somebody need to apologize, that I got information and I acted on, that was a lie. So that's number one. So I don't care how you guys justifying what you guys did with the insurance, that's fine. My whole thing when we had that discussion was about what was in front of me. So I don't care how the department went and negotiate, but there was 3 insurance company that was there. And you guys said to me, the administration, that the last one coverage did not add up in terms of the dependent, with the, whatever the folks was paying. The highest one was whichever that was a little bit, and Aetna was in the middle. So my question was, and I was trying to push it, well, why don't we go to the one that was, whatever that number was, the United, it was totally dismissed. So I did not feel as a policy person that the whatever negotiation team that we had, it was best put forth that could have serviced us at that time. I got my information and I kind of be quiet when Joe said everybody was okay. I'm like, okay, they're okay, then what do I care? I'm not paying nothing, so I'm okay. And then the following weeks, what we heard was, no, they were not okay because there was stuff. We should have known that. So that needs to be acknowledged. Not trying to justify that because somebody, and I'm not using the word L, but somebody came here and I was under the impression I voted the information I received from your administration. Madam Manager, are you paying attention, ma'am? Okay, please. The information that I gathered was incorrect and it was not satisfactory. And that's, and the residents are saying it, we're getting stuff, and the staff, obviously not. That's all I'm saying. We cannot do these type of things. However, we want to justify what we did. It may be the best plan, but we should have, not gotten what we got, and then that was not accurate based on what we're hearing now. That's just it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and the colleagues, for entertaining this.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Your report.
Yes, it's a long one. So first, thank you to everyone who donated to the interns from the Office of the City Clerk today. I just want to let everyone know that I do have some interns that are collecting funds for feminine and some for men as well, but they're collecting care baskets to distribute over the holidays. This is not a Vanessa Joseph project. This is a project that they thought of on their own, wanting to make sure that they provide specifically feminine hygiene care kits to women who are unsheltered and who are in need. So you may see them next Tuesday or next Thursday walking around and asking you for some donations, either in terms of funding so that they can purchase the products, or if you can, stop by the grocery store and pick up some feminine care products and provide it to them. You can drop them off at the city clerk's office. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone who came out to the community forum that took place in District 4 last week. Thank you so much to Councilman Desilme for co-hosting the event. And thank you for all the departments who were either present or reached out and just notified me that they wouldn't be able to make it. And thank you for those of you who were able to participate, specifically because you saw it just in fit to provide the community with information and didn't really see an issue with the event. So that was a really inspiring thing to see, that people mean so much to folks who work here. I do want to lift up some of the issues that had come out of that meeting. It wasn't a bashing session, so that was actually great. There were, of course, some concerns, but generally people were just expressing the desire to have actually more of these forums so that they have an opportunity to really share their perspectives and have them more often. So one of the first items that was said by a resident was that the city should do more to support immigrants, specifically more recent arrivals. There were needs expressed in terms of wanting to increase awareness around specific events that are happening with respect to meetings and developments that are happening throughout the city. Some folks expressed a desire to see the parks reopen to the residents. They expressed also wanting to make the parks more accessible to people in general, but especially making the pools more accessible to seniors. Some folks expressed that speeding has been a huge problem, and I think that this is a place where education should be done to express why maybe speed bumps aren't able to be a reality. And so I just think it's really important that we provide some education around that, education around the chicken issue, right? And education specifically around the water bill, because that did come up at the end of the night. But it really wasn't a bashing session. It was more so just a lack of education around why the water bill was going up, how much it was going up, and not having that information. And so to address that first point about supporting immigrants, Mayor Bien-Aimé, I would like to ask you if you could sign on to a letter that a group that I'm affiliated with is working on, which is essentially trying to get the federal government to, one, create a categorical humanitarian parole program for Afghans and Haitians and fully restore the Cuban Haitian entrant program, and also commit federal government funding to help localities and communities provide legal services and housing support for both populations of Afghans and Haitians to comfortably resettle in the United States. It does ask for the signature of a mayor. So if I could share that with you and you could sign it.
How about a vice mayor?
And I will share it with you as well. No, absolutely.
Okay. The mayor has stepped out of the room. I'm sure you didn't know. That's why.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the vice mayor as well could sign.
Yeah, no,
actually.
I'm sure we all would. But just so you know, the mayor wasn't not responding. He's just not in the room.
No worries. And one of the things
now he's back.
So I will share this letter with you, Mayor, about asking the federal government to commit funding to the municipality to assist Haitians and Afghans in resettling.
What happened?
I'll explain later.
She'll see you later, yeah.
As long as the city manager has the money.
It's asking the federal government for money.
Oh. Okay.
So, as you all know, we're in the process of redistricting.
We're not
And
done?
so
With reports?
She's got long.
I have a long report today. I had a short
we
one
gotta
last
go.
week.
Can you ask quick?
We'll go when I'm finished. Give me a second.
No, we don't go.
So
we
we've
don't
been.
go when we finish.
All
When
right.
I said so. Go ahead.
I will. So we're in the process of doing redistricting, which you know happens after we've completed a census. And I've been serving on the county's Citizens Redistricting Advisory Board. And what we were tasked with doing was assisting the Board of County Commissioners in drafting a redistricting plan that meets the redistricting criteria and factors outlined in the commission's resolution, and of course any other criteria required by law. And so there were a lot of different recommendations that were made in consideration of many of the comments that came out during community outreach meetings and data that was provided to us by the consultant for the project, or for the county actually. And so we pretty much came up with some proposed maps. These are available on the Miami-Dade County website. I encourage folks to review those maps because on December 1st, it is going up before the county. And so it's really important that the community has their voices heard in this process. But I did want to note a very important recommendation that was made. And so this is an excerpt of our final report, which states, Notable among the changes is a sharp decline of non-Hispanic Black population. While District 3 experienced the steepest decline in Black population, Districts 1, 2, and 9 also lost Black population. In fact, this decline has reduced the number of districts with a Black majority from 2 to 1, with District 2 only maintaining a majority by a slim margin. Diversity in the county's population is important for its overall economic vitality and for maintaining its image as a multicultural community. As the country strives to maintain diversity, it is important to understand the underlying causes of these demographic shifts and whether interventions should be considered to stem the loss of diversity in the county. And so I think that this is a call to action for all municipalities, but especially our municipality, to really rethink why these population shifts are occurring. Specifically looking at things like transportation and, housing being a huge factor, and not really focusing solely on workforce housing at the exclusion of folks who are on the lower income pay scale, right? Because they too are still part of the workforce and are indeed entitled to have an affordable place to stay. And finally, Thanksgiving. So for many, I think the coming days are going to be pretty hard. I know that it's not joyous for everyone. And we really need to consider the true history of Thanksgiving, because a lot of what we've been taught or what we've been told is really riddled with untruths. There are many gaps in the stories that we've been told. So as we take this time off, we should also consider how we can uplift Native and Indigenous people and the causes that affect them. And we also can't forget that this day is going to be especially hard for those folks who have suffered the loss of a loved one or several loved ones. So as you gather with your family, consider sharing your love and kindness with those in our community who are much in need. Personally, I'll be spending my Thanksgiving as I always do, which is in service to others. And I hope that you all can find some time to do the same, because it's truly in giving that we find so much to be thankful for. And that is all, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Move to adjourn?
City Attorney, do you have report? No, thank you very much, Madam City Manager. Thank you very much.
Happy holidays, and
thank you very much.
No, hold on. Stop. I'm actually challenging everyone to come to City Hall and pick up the angels. I picked up 2. I spoke to the clerk. She picked up 4. So I'm challenging everyone to pick up an angel and get the toys.
About this announcement,
you can pick up 20, not just one.
Yes, I have to make a big announcement.
I'm starting the challenge. How many are you accepting?
I spent $100 Saturday.
100? That's
Saturday night.
No. We cannot talk about that party on Saturday because I have some comments we don't want to go to.
What?
But I do want to.
You want
about the food.
You want to give me an Oscar for singing?
I paid. Oh, I forgot about that part too. But I do have a big announcement. I forgot about that. I have been, Suzette is gone. You should have made that big announcement. I have been selected to be the Good Samaritan for 2021 from the Emmeline Schultz Foundation, which is very big. It's this Thursday. So are you going to be serving, Madam Clerk? Are you going to be there helping us out doing the food? What do you mean she's not? How do you know? She's not. But they are looking for all of the elected officials, which they have over the years to come and serve, which we have gone.
Thursday?
Yeah, she moved to, after the parade. Yeah. She said she moved to Magic City in there. But Father Reggie and Dr. Ichan, the Haitian nurses, have gotten this award. So I'm honored and acknowledge that. And thank you. The Schultz Foundation. The Good Samaritan.
Thank you very much, Chief.
Motion made by Councilman Galvin to adjourn.
You're not going to mention
Second.
The dolphin came and...
Oh, yeah.
Chief,
That's all these...
The dolphin.
Chief
yesterday.
5 p.m. People ask me if an agenda is going to be long because it's short in print. I'm like,
no. This is not the agenda. This is not the agenda.
That's when you don't want to go home.
A motion was made by Councilman Galvin to adjourn. Seconded by Councilman Desome. All in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. It is 9:48.